If you're looking at buying the Swiss Travel Pass, then this is the video for you. We're going to take a detailed look at what's included in the Swiss Travel Pass, what the benefits are, and of course what's not included as well. Well, first and most importantly, it covers the whole Swiss transport network, which includes all the trains, all the buses, all the boats, and all the trams in the city. So if you're traveling around in Zurich or Bern or Geneva or any other major city, you get access to the whole transport network there. And also if you're moving between cities like Zurich to Lucerne, Lucerne to Interlaken, Geneva, or any other major destination, the trains are all included as well. You can also take boat rides around all the lakes, which is really great scenery, of course. Lake Lucerne, Lake Geneva, Lake Brienz and Thun around Interlaken are amazing as well. So be sure to take advantage of those. And if you're thinking about taking any one of the panoramic trains like the Glacier Express or the Bernina Express or any of the other ones, then those are also included in the Swiss Travel Pass. Just remember that you might need to make a seat reservation on some of them as it's mandatory, and that is not included in the Swiss Travel Pass, but it usually only costs about 5 francs, so it's not really a big deal. And you also get access to over 500 museums, so the majority of the museums in Switzerland are free for you. There's a few exceptions, but almost all of them are covered, so that's certainly a big bonus and will save you quite a lot of money if you're traveling to the museums. And you get big discounts, usually up to about 50% on all the mountain transport, so things like Pilatus, Rigi, Gornergrat, all the places in Zermatt and all the other major mountain transport in Switzerland, and a little bit less on the Jungfraujoch. I believe it's 25 to 30%, but also quite a big discount considering that costs 200 to 250 francs for the trip. So what's not included in the Swiss Travel Pass? Well, as I mentioned, the seat reservations for the panoramic trains is one of them, and some of the scenic boat trips you might want to book are not included, but you can book or get on, of course, the local ferries, which are almost as good as the scenic boat trips for most people at least. And you also need to keep in mind that not every single museum is included. So one of them, the Lindt Museum, the Chocolate Museum in Zurich, is not included. And the Museum of Transport in Lucerne, which is a huge museum covering all aspects of transport in Switzerland, that's also not included. So there are a few big ones, but the majority of other ones that you'll come across are included. So there's definitely very little not included in the pass, but that's just a few things to keep in mind. Now let's talk about the different types of passes you can get for the Swiss Travel Pass. The first is the two different categories that you can get access to. The first one is the consecutive pass, which runs for specific days in a row, whether that's 3, 4, and the other one is the Flex Pass, which is a specific number of days within a 1-month period. Now that costs a little bit more because you have more flexibility. So when should you get one compared to the other? Well, if you're traveling every single day within a specific period, then it makes more sense and it's cheaper to get the consecutive pass. Of course, that means you should be doing at least a mountain trip where you want the big discount, or you want to be traveling large journeys between cities. Otherwise, often it's just not worth paying for that one day on the pass. So you need to be careful as to which part of the travel is actually worth it, and think about whether you want the Flex Pass or whether you want the consecutive pass. Now the Swiss Travel Pass comes in 5 different lengths. It's actually 3, 4, 6, 8 and 15. So basically less than a week, or 2 weeks, more or less. So you need to think about how long you're going to be using the pass and what makes the most sense for you within the time that you're traveling within Switzerland. Now a lot of our clients actually ask us, is it worth buying the Swiss Travel Pass? And it's quite a complicated question. The first thing you need to think about is whether or not you're traveling a lot within Switzerland. If you're only doing small distances, then the Swiss Travel Pass is probably not the right pass for you. But if you're doing a lot of distances or you're traveling a lot of days to a lot of different locations, then it makes a lot more sense. Another thing you need to think about is whether or not you're doing a lot of these big mountain excursions. Now let me give you some examples that cost a lot of money. Jungfraujoch is one of the ones where you'll save the most money. Another one is the Schildhorn or Pilatus and Rigi, popular ones around Lucerne. If you're doing a lot of these trips within the areas you're staying in, then you'll get quite big discounts using the Swiss Travel Pass, and then you get your money back for the pass when you include that and the train trips that you're using while you're in Switzerland. Another thing you need to think about is museums. Do you visit a lot of museums? If you do, then you're saving $20 or $30 per day per person from all the museums you're visiting. It might not seem a lot compared to a $100 train trip, but it adds up when you add it on top of the journey. Say for example, you arrive in Lucerne one day, you've taken a long train ride, you've got half a day left, then you go to the museum in Lucerne or in Zermatt, and then you can actually save the money on that on one day, which makes it $100, $150 day for you when you've saved all of that money. So you need to add up the train trips, the mountain journeys and the museums to really figure out whether or not the Swiss Travel Pass is worth it. And it can be quite complicated trying to figure out all those different prices. You need to go to a whole bunch of different websites, find all the different categories, the kinds of discounts you're going to get, how much it costs for the different classes and the different passes. And that's why we've actually put together a train pass calculation service that's very affordable and helps you figure out the exact pass that's perfect for your journey and can save you $100 to $200 per person on your trip. So if you're interested in that, you should jump over to our website and take a look and see whether that's the right kind of service for you. So I hope that's cleared up some of the confusion about the Swiss Travel Pass for you. And if you've liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you want to see more Swiss travel info, don't forget to subscribe down below, and we'll see you in the next video.